You okay?
I'm fine.
I just want to... Well, hello and welcome back to the Two Cats, One Dog.
Hey, it's my deathbed.
My name is Daniel Martin. To my left, as always,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
and to his left,
Wait, Jeffrey. Jeffrey
Yeah.
Lee Curtis.
I was genuinely confused, but I wasn't going to
Me
comment.
too. I said Daniel Day-Lewis for the Patreon episode. So
He's just a
Hell
little
yeah.
confused.
I'm a little confused about who I am right
It's
now.
all right. We're all confused.
I don't know.
To his
who I
super
am.
left is Ethan the dog, Kern.
Woof woof.
Woof woof. And
You know I
today-
don't introduce myself. That's
I thought maybe you wanted to give something different a try today.
no.
No, that's all right. That's all right. We're
I
gonna
need
stick to
no
the,
introduction.
We're gonna stick to the normal status quo today. Right off the top, I want to thank everyone who's been tuning in. We've been messing with the format, and we'll randomly get like almost 1,000 listens on some of these episodes on Spotify. YouTube has been a little bit slower, letting us kind of read the room and see what works and working through this and what doesn't. I do want to give a special shout out to our paying Patreon members, Zackajuia, Anastasia, Aaron Wiley. We were supposed to shout you out every episode at the end, and I've been forgetting to, so I'm doing it at the beginning.
Right at the
now.
top.
Right at the top.
Right
so
off
you
the
know how
rip.
important you guys are to us.
They give us money, so
They
we
give
love
us
them
money,
more.
so we actually love you guys more
We
than the
do.
rest of the people who are listening. And of course, if you do want to go ahead and join our Patreon, we are posting at least like 2 to 3 exclusive episodes a month. They've been a lot of fun. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. But if you're just listening on the normal thing, thank you so much for being here. And today we are doing Paranormal Encounters. And it's going to be a wonderful time. We're all going to take a couple turns. We're going to talk about some alien encounters, some ghosts, some goblins, some ghouls, maybe some demonic possessions. And that's
Ooh.
all going to be
love
in the
that.
works for today to send off September and get started with Spooktober. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off. Who wanted to go first? Did somebody want to go first?
So our first story right off the rip today, it's My Louisiana Ghost Story, written by Andrew Evans.
I love Andrew
Coming to you
Evans.
from natgeo.com.
Great. Love Nat Geo.
All right. In an unnamed house. Hold on, I got to put in my spooky voice.
Yeah, put on your spooky voice. I'm not freaked out enough.
In a world where unnamed houses rule
Where Louisiana
the world.
is a place. In a fictional world where Louisiana does not exist, actually.
There's so much swamp, too much swamp. In an unnamed house, in an unnamed town, in a state named after King Louis XIV, I met a ghost. We were never introduced properly. In fact, the housekeeper denied any and all ghosts the minute I walked in. Oh no, it's haunted. It's not haunted.
No, it's haunted. It's not haunted.
I already fucked it up.
No, you're doing great, buddy.
Oh no, I'm sticking with the voice though.
Yeah, it's
oh
great
no,
voice.
it's not haunted. At least I'd never seen nothing, she announced as she led me through the grand entryway and into the hallway dressed up with fall flower arrangements.
Ooh, pretty.
The century-old house was massive, one huge square room after another, and each one decorated with antique parlor furniture, huge potted plants, and heavy framed mirrors and paintings.
What huge potted plants you have.
Jesus. There's so many. God damn.
Crystal chandeliers.
We're just, I mean, I was just going to skip.
just
I
keep
was just
going.
gonna
Yeah,
skip
it was
the
a beautiful
whole-
southern
okay.
mansion, yeah.
There was just a lot of
There's a lot
detail
of
here.
descriptive.
I'm
yeah.
fucking this whole thing up. And crystal chandeliers that hung like glowing upside down wedding dresses. Aw.
Oh,
So like a chandelier.
so, yeah, it's like crystal chandeliers
And
that hung
crystal
like
chandeliers that hung very much like a chandelier might.
Interesting. Wait, don't wedding dresses also hang down like
Yeah, it's
Not
chandeliers?
actually
upside down.
really
Not
good.
upside
Not
down.
until the end of the night.
The chandeliers, well, I guess if it's...
I think,
Yeah, but they're designed like upside down to a chandelier is in fact
aren't wives
upside up.
designed to be upside down?
True.
Wives?
Wives.
Wives?
They should be.
I am just completely.
keep going.
I have absolutely no equity in my wife. I am so tipped in my wife, man. She is just. It was a bad investment. I got fucked over at the courthouse. No dowry.
Should have
I'm
took the
just-
vig.
I am so
What's the
tipped
vig?
in my wife.
I keep saying the word big. I
I
don't
don't think you know what it means.
I don't think you would. It was a beautiful southern mansion that, like so many in Louisiana, now functions as a luxurious bed and breakfast. The housekeeper showed me my suite for the night, a tremendous king-sized bed that weighed a few tons. That seems like it's way too. Seems like it's way too
Yeah,
heavy
like
for a bed.
A few times.
Were you
No.
weighing it?
Yeah,
Yeah, this bed, like how
This bed's about 1.3 tons.
Yeah, I don't walk into rooms and like I wonder how much everything in this room fucking weighs.
Maybe you're missing out on
what
something.
does the weight of the bed even actually have
And
to
a
do
few
with
tons? You're telling me it's like a 6,000 pound bed?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, it's
that
a ton,
means
2,000 pounds.
I think so.
It's a lot of pounds.
that's a like
That's
2
a
or
lot
3
of
tons is
pounds,
a
dude.
there are some F-150s that couldn't even tow that.
I don't have hey, can you help me move my bed? Sorry, I don't have the towing capacity.
Damn. The housekeeper showed me my suite for the night. A tremendous king-sized bed that weighed a few tons, smothered in a pile of pillows.
I had to help drag it in. Sorry.
And with more white lace and satin than a royal christening. I set my bags down on the floor and took in the size of the room. An immense place, cathedral-like.
Hello. Hello.
Why do you keep doing that? I'm standing
Why do you
right
keep
here.
doing that?
Oh, just because it's big.
It's big.
You'll be staying alone in the house, the housekeeper added. There are no other guests tonight. I was afraid that would be the situation. It's not the first time in my travels that I've been the sole inhabitant of some oversized historic property. I'm used to it, though. It's not always comfortable. As long as you say it's not haunted, I joked. But the housekeeper did not laugh. In fact, she looked a little concerned.
Joke about that.
No, it's not haunted, she reassured me. But 2 seconds later, she began to elaborate. Oh, there are stories, but nobody's ever seen nothing. She paused. I've never seen nothing.
Oh,
Who's she trying to convince? She's trying to convince. She's trying to convince herself.
Yeah,
She's in league with them. I've never seen it.
I haven't summoned them actively using my Milton Bradley Ouija board. I didn't. I asked her to tell me more about the stories. And out of the housekeeper's mouth tumbled one grade A Southern ghost story. Apparently, the Cajun family who owned the house 2 owners ago reported the ghost of a little girl who, when she was alive, used to get locked up in the wooden closet under the stairs.
Sick.
Locked in the dark, she would kick and scream against the door, a habit that she carried on into her next life at Hogwarts.
She's totally fucking Hufflepuff. That screams Hufflepuff energy.
That is big.
Being
Hufflepuff
locked in a
energy.
closet, that's as Gryffindor as it gets.
No, because that means you have to be brave to escape the closet.
Well, it depends on whether or not your parents gave you weed through your little the crack in the door.
That's a totally Ravenclaw, dude. That's where all the stoners went, dude.
I mean, they are the ones most into botany, so that feels.
That's true. Despite closing that door every night, the Cajun family noticed the closet door would always be wide open in the morning. Eventually, they began leaving little toys inside the closet at night to appease the unhappy little ghost. The housekeeper told me this as if it were perfectly normal. And in my travels, I've gathered that ghosts are pretty normal in Louisiana. Last year, we had a Halloween party in the house, and a lot of people dressed up as the ghosts that haunt their own houses. And guess what my costume was? The housekeeper was suddenly cheerful again. I dressed up as the little girl from under the stairs. She wore a short black dress, and put her hair in pigtails, and walked around with an armful of toys.
Ew.
I think I could have handled just about anything. If the housekeeper had told me that someone had hung himself in the foyer, or that the mansion was under some swamp curse, or that it was built on top of some old French cemetery, well, I could have coped fine with any of those. But no, instead, she was describing a bothered little girl ghost trapped in a closet with an armful of old-fashioned toys. Now, that was super fucking creepy. The housekeeper offered to spend the night in the house as well. Oh.
Ooh, that's kind of hot, dude.
Yeah, right?
Lesbians.
Yeah, you fucked up, dude.
That's awesome, dude.
But I said no, I'd be fine in the house alone. At least I thought I'd be fine. Honestly, I thought very little of her ghost stories. I've traveled to enough odd places and gathered my own private collection of unexplained phenomena that I prefer to keep private and unexplained. I wasn't ready to add an old Louisiana mansion to my list. It almost seemed too banal.
Banal. I'm just kidding. Be anal.
Be anal. My Cajun housekeeper was friendly and welcoming. She showed, I didn't know it is Louisiana. I could have done a.
Yeah, no, hey, it's
that's
missed
all right.
opportunities.
Missed opportunities. That's okay. We'll get them in the next
Get them
one.
next time.
She showed me around the town and introduced me to nearly every person we ran into. I ended up having dinner with her and her husband at the local seafood restaurant, and for hours we swapped stories and laughed.
In Louisiana, you're a friend until proven otherwise.
That's what everyone had told me, and I had found it to be quite true. From the minute you met someone, they were genuinely warm and hospitable. It was only when she drove me back to the house that the housekeeper mentioned the ghost again.
Oh, you're gonna hear things tonight. You will.
She laughed nervously. Her approach had changed from a few hours earlier when she flat out denied any kind of haunting. I laughed it off and waved goodbye to the two of them as they drove away, then unlocked the door with my key and entered the house alone. A few lights had been left on in some of the rooms, and I did not feel the need to start walking around the huge house to turn them off one by one. Instead, I made my way to the first floor bedroom and then into the bathroom where I changed for bed and brushed my teeth.
What the fuck wrote this, by the way? Yeah. This person, it's like they think they're token, but they're like...
There's just too many
descriptions.
Who?
Token.
Tolkien?
Yeah.
I'll backhand you. Well, put respect in that name. Okay.
I'm saying that with respect to his name and disrespect to this horrible writer's name.
Yeah, you put respect. It's Tolkien. You
Did I say it wrong?
Tolkien.
Is it? I think it's potato.
It's wicked not. It's Nathan Nathaniel.
Nathaniel's the full name of Nathan.
No.
Sometimes it is.
You're not technically wrong. That's like saying Bethany is the full name of Ethan.
Bethaniel.
That's when I felt it. That really dreadful sensation of being watched by someone else. I felt coldness on the back of my neck and my spine tingled. I stared at my face in the mirror, but there was nothing else there. No apparitions or vague reflections. Potter.
Are you just going to keep freestyling? Or
I left the room and then shut the glass-paneled bathroom door, certain that I was simply scaring myself. I sat down at the table, opened my laptop, and began answering my email.
When did this become a fucking Algerian?
I don't know what that sounds like. Is that what I was doing?
Pretty close,
Okay.
I think. I got my education in America, so I actually don't fully know. But I'm pretty sure that's Algerian.
I don't think that's a real country.
It was 11:15, and the glow from my computer pulled me away from any fears and kept me focused on the mundane realities of our digital lives. At 11 o'clock, the noises started. Shh, 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 shh. A pair of feet shuffled across the bathroom floor. I turned towards the door, and I had just closed it. It was still closed. Okay, good, because you just closed it. So why?
Good.
Okay, that should stay that way. The only entrance into the room. The noise repeated itself.
That can't have been the noise because she'd have been the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
If I heard that anywhere,
That's just how I say hello.
let alone a giant old house, I'm fucking gone.
A pair of feet shuffling across the floor, then stopping right at the other side of the bathroom door.
Why do ghost feet always fucking shuffle? I don't know. Why is it always that they shuffle?
They all just got heavy legs.
Is it like I don't get it.
They're held down by the
shuffling.
chains of their sins from their past lives.
It's gotta be
So
something.
they can't help but shuffle because of the heavy chains. Yeah. My fingers froze on my keyboard, and I tried to think rationally. Certainly, the sounds had come from someone walking, and it was from inside the bathroom. Yes, I was scared. My mind went through all the other things that might be making the noise. Someone else entering the house. Some very large, wild animal scurrying about. It was a pig wearing a Ronald Reagan mask. But no, those had been feet pattering along the floor. That's when I crawled into the giant bed and I took up my defensive position, armed pitifully with my cell phone and my laptop. When are you just going to throw a laptop at the ghost? Now the laptop, and you get your soul
Haunted.
stolen. Damn.
And you lose access
I'm
to your
haunted
cloud.
and poor.
And poor.
And I'm out $1,500.
At midnight, I heard a loud thump upstairs, and then another followed by another. Soon there was a clatter all about. Dull thuds, a few bangs. I'm loving the Foley work, by the way. This is incredible.
Thank you. I want to put you there.
Followed by the sound of someone or many walking around on the second floor. I remained frozen in my bed, tweeting my terror out into the great digital cloud.
Wait, she was tweeting during this?
This is Andrew, I believe.
That's probably. Oh, so he was tweeting.
I think it's a he. Yes.
All right, well, great. So he was
tweeting
probably
during this?
he was
so
probably
scared.
vaping too, which
He was
makes this even
definitely
less
Wait, hold on.
serious.
Let me do that too.
He was like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?"
He was like, "Yeah,
Wait, guys, what's going on?
just rips the
Twitter,
Benjamin.
what the fuck?" No, I'm talking about THC.
I need my
'cause
anxiety pen.
you can't take someone who hits like a fucking
You're just
nicotine
sitting there
vape
aggressively
seriously.
hitting it while like you're scared. You're just looking around. You keep hearing noises closing in on you. You just it's just nothing but you're fucking live tweeting the whole time.
Like it totally pulled me out. I'm just like, okay, well, so
Bro
you're
is just
like,
vaping and fucking tweeting the whole time. Like, bro, I think there's totally someone in my house.
like, dude, you've had enough nicotine. Count it.
That's when the light on my Benjamin began to blink.
It was dead.
It was dead.
It was dead.
The ghost killed my pen.
That's the real spooky story here. You've heard about how they can mess with electronics. I mean, just shut your vape off.
That's why we gotta go back to cigarettes,
the Gen
man.
Zs. Analog cigarettes.
There are strange noises coming from upstairs. I was using Twitter to document the paranormal event that was unfolding around me. Yes, I was terrified. I hadn't taken the housekeeper seriously, and now it was nearly midnight, and I was stuck in a giant bed in a giant mansion that had suddenly come alive with strange noises. No, they were not simply old house noises that old houses make. There was no air conditioning or heat running. It was not simply the humid air turning colder and the house settling back into its foundations, as many Twitter followers tried to explain to me.
I only have 2.
I was confident. You got to get on the Truth Social button. That's where the money's at.
Blue sky.
I was confident that I was the only person in the house, and yet the sounds from upstairs had me convinced someone else was moving around up there. A few minutes later, I heard the sound of someone running up the stairs. Whatever it was had joined me on the first floor. I stared at the bedroom door, then reverted to Facebook chat for some small comfort. A few minutes later, I heard the sound of someone running down the stairs. Whatever it was had joined me on the first floor. I stared at the bedroom door and then reverted to Facebook chat for some kind of small comfort. I chatted with my friends in different countries, explaining my dilemma, that I was wide awake in a house which was most likely haunted by a traumatized little girl, and that honestly this was kind of an adventure on which I was happy to take a pass. I don't want to be here. Why would you sign up to go into a haunted house and sleep there and be like unhappy
literally
about it?
every choice.
Oh, wait, it's
you
haunted?
make-
I'm out of here.
Yeah, right?
Off rip, you were like, yeah, probably haunted, I bet. And then you're like, I didn't sign up for this. I
didn't think it would be this
I didn't think it'd be actually haunted.
That's the other thing. He's being a total fucking pussy. And because, like, it's a kid ghost. It's not even
Oh,
an
you could
adult.
totally take a
like,
kid
You could
ghost.
take a kid
that's
ghost.
like,
Wait, hold on. How many kid ghosts do you think you could take before you got overpowered?
I think it would be the same number as the number of
Would
children. I could
you
take.
rather fight 25 ghost-sized kids or
25
5
kid-sized
kid-sized
ghosts. Option A.
What is the average size of a ghost?
I think I could probably kick at least 25 kid ghosts' ass
Yeah.
before I get
Well,
tired.
I think
like
so.
before they overtake
If I have
me.
a proton,
Are we talking-
pack-
Because we're talking
only-
like Caspers, like 25 Caspers,
Okay.
because that's a little kid ghost, right? Casper
like-
got like hit by a car, some stupid shit like that.
I wanted to laugh, but I couldn't, as I read my Twitter friends arguing about the existence of ghosts. All the while, I was listening to what sounded like bowling balls.
Wait, hold on, I don't know how to make a bowling ball now. Boom,
That's not.
Is that close?
I don't know what
Okay,
a bowling ball
continue.
sounds like, but it's not that.
Well, if you don't know,
It's a very
it's close.
wet bowling ball.
Yeah.
No, that's the sound a bowling ball make.
Bowling would be so much less popular. It would be an exclusively gay sport.
It's true. It's never gonna happen. This is gonna be just.
You gave us too much
nightmare.
free range to just fucking interject.
I'm sorry.
It's your fault. It's all your
It's
fault.
not your fault. I can't shut up either.
It's all your fault.
Okay. Eventually, the footsteps went back up the stairs and the clatter intensified. I wanted to laugh, but I couldn't, as I read my Twitter friends arguing about the existence of ghosts, all while I was listening to what sounded like a bowling ball rolling around the floor above me and doors slamming shut. It's a very small door.
That sounds like someone swatting a mosquito.
Via social media, I began to get a flood of real-time advice on how to deal with my real-time haunting. Some said to confront the thing. Others said to call the police and report intruders. A few insisted I turn on my television. Some said to pray to Saint Michael. Others said to Saint Joseph because he was better with this sort of
No,
thing.
you're gonna want to go to St. Joseph for that.
Yeah, no. He's the ghost
You're gonna
guy.
want a full
He's your
Hail.
ghost
You're
guy.
gonna want to do at least full 2 rounds Hail Mary.
You do have your rosary.
You do have. Wait, did you come without a rosary?
Oh, fuck.
Idiot.
Big mistake. Huge.
Big mistake. Huge.
The Hindus in India said that just all of them?
Yeah, all
I actually just
1
talked to
billion
every
of them.
Hindu in all of India, and they
1
all
billion
think
of
you
them
should
all
leave.
responded at once.
The Hindus in India said to burn some
have to
incense.
get out of
My
there.
friend who's a nun in Europe told me to leave the house immediately, which did not make me feel better about my situation.
Yeah, well, it's a nun, so. Nuns
She hasn't
aren't
had
known
sex
for
in 20 years, so
Nuns
don't take
aren't
what she
known
says
for making
seriously.
people feel better.
They're not thinking rationally.
I've never associated a positive thing with a nun.
Yeah,
let me
here's
call
what
this
you do.
nun.
Get the
This is gonna
biggest
help.
ruler you can find, and you chase that fucker out of the house.
And you slap the demon out of you.
I don't remember sleeping much, but eventually my body grew so tired that I lay down, wrapped up like a mummy in my blankets. The house became silent once more, and for several hours I listened to the stillness, still terrified but hopeful that the worst was over. All I had to do was make it until morning. I awoke at about 4 a.m. to the sound of tinkling glass,
Tink, 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 tink.
which grew louder and louder.
Tink, 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 tink.
It was the sound of crystal glasses clinking
Tink, tink.
against other crystal glasses. And then someone was stacking china. My mind reflected on everything I had heard throughout the night. I mentally begged the ghosts to shut up so that I could get some sleep. I thought of the last family who had lived here, how they had appeased the ghost with toys. I had no toys to offer, except my bad dragon, which I brought in a special pouch, and the thing's expensive, and I'm not about to give it to a fucking ghost.
Fuck you, ghosts. Get your own
But
dragon.
not with this. I had... For a second, I was relieved, as if I had something positive to offer the ghost, but then I realized that if I suddenly heard a harmonica playing in the darkness, I would probably die of cardiac arrest, specifically a harmonica. It's like...
If I would have any other thing, I'm
It's
like a
like
sick guitar player.
accordion.
Cool.
Nope, there's a piano. That's fine.
It's fine. Harmonica.
Harmonica. Nope, can't handle it.
It's up there.
It would be
It
creepy.
is up
I'm not
there.
going to say it wouldn't
no,
be creepy.
I feel like that's like one of the least creepy instruments.
I would think that like an old jailbird was like kind of.
I'm imagining a harmonica playing like one singular
Oh,
note.
okay. Yeah, almost like a train.
Yeah, like-
that actually would be creepy.
That's yeah.
But if some dudes
But
just
someone
like go to
starts
town
fucking
like
busting out like fucking like
Sweet
Piano
Child.
Man.
If someone played Sweet Child of Mine on the
Yeah,
harmonica,
Piano Man. Yeah,
yeah,
I'd be
like I'd be
that's
like,
pretty
oh
tight.
shit, okay, like
I'd be like, that's
I
pretty
could fuck
tight.
with this
that's
ghost.
too
with
recent
this.
for you to be a ghost.
Maybe they
You were
died in
dead
like
before this
2020.
came out.
Yeah,
A COVID ghost.
but he stays current. He reads
The girl, the ghost girl.
I
We
like-
don't even
yeah, the
know.
ghost
We
girl.
don't
Like,
know
I
the
gender
love
of any
modern
of
music.
these.
Have you heard-
Shit, I love Modest Mouse, she says.
And so I stayed in bed until morning, not sleeping and not moving. I waited until I heard the housekeeper arrive and began preparing breakfast back in the kitchen. Only then did I crawl out of bed, open the bathroom door, take a shower, and get dressed. I took my bags out into the car, then re-entered the house through the kitchen. The housekeeper acted nonchalant. She gave me breakfast. I'm so stupid. Okay. Oh, so nonchalant. She gave me breakfast and chatted about the weather until I finally interrupted. I told her what happened, all the different sounds that I had heard, and how I had been kept awake for most of the night. She responded with a few confessions.
You know, my son won't even set foot in this house. He'll come to the door, but he won't ever cross into it.
As a teenager, he played with the owner's son inside the house and had one creepy experience that kept him away ever since. The housekeeper also told me about her little niece talking alone upstairs, chatting with some unseen friend. Then she told me about the professional ghost hunters who had come in and recorded floating orbs and EVPs and plastered the images all over the internet. All the Ghostbuster stuff that's lately become so popular on the television.
Ghostbuster stuff.
And yet she would never admit that she had proof of anything. She needed the house to not be haunted, which made sense to me. If I worked all day in a big old southern mansion, I would not want it to be haunted either. Still, as we talked, the housekeeper repeatedly acknowledged the very real possibility of some kind of ghost, as well as the owner's son understanding that the house was very special. Perhaps that's why she keeps telling people the house is not haunted.
If there's something in the house, then we don't want the wrong kind of people coming in and provoking it. We wouldn't want anyone bothering it.
That seemed to be the right attitude, although I am personally unacquainted with southern ghost etiquette. Yet I was surprised by the housekeeper's duality on the subject. All that I know is that I stayed alone in that house all night long, during which time I heard a lot of unexplained noises. Yes, perhaps my mind played tricks all night. Maybe giant raccoons were wearing people slippers and running up and down the floors.
That's totally what it was.
Maybe the neighbor's kid had snuck into the house to play a cruel trick upon me. Or maybe, just maybe, there was a ghost of a little girl who escaped her prisoner's closet beneath the stairs and ran amok all night down and up the stairs, jostling the crystal and the china, giggling to herself as she scared the crap out of that tall Yankee gentleman holed up in the guest room.
Hey, come play with me. Hey, come play some games with me, kid.
Hey, I got it, the good china. I made
Come
a
give me
roast.
some cigarettes and some whiskey and let's play some cards.
Come on.
It's a little 6-year-old girl. Hey, wake up. What are you doing? It's sleeping at 4 o'clock in the morning. Come on, come down here and play some games.
What are you, some kind of bitch?
Some kind of Yankee pussy.
Come on, pass the fucking Benjamin. I've been sober for 130 years.
Died before my 21st birthday. They won't let me buy any fucking booze. Come on, help me out here. Help a girl out. All right. Well, that was that was quite a story. Thank you, Jeff Lee, for taking that,
You're so
taking us
welcome.
through that when such a
Inspirational stuff.
inspirational stuff. Thank you. And I think if you didn't
And
believe in
sorry.
ghosts before, thank you, and I'm sorry. Good night. So I'm going to go ahead
May
and read
God
our
have
next
mercy on your soul.
installment. We've got. So I wanted to do something with ghouls, ghosts, aliens, and vampires. Just any kind of thing I could get my hands on. The whole gamut.
So this story has all of those.
This is one of them tonight. So we are reading the story from CountryRoadsMagazine.com.
Country Roads Magazine.
Called Take Me Home, Country Road, CountryMagazine.com. To the Place I Belong, by Alexandra Cannon Shannon, called The Pascagula Abduction. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with, this is not written, this is me talking. For those unfamiliar with Pascagula, Mississippi, it is a town that exists right on the Gulf of Mexico, about 25 miles east of Biloxi. Biloxi is famously the town where gambling is legal, but only on boats, only in the water.
Oh, gotcha.
So and when you go to gamble, like a lot of people go to gamble, they're kind of like Vegas. It's like the Vegas of Mississippi. People go in droves. There's a lot of retirees, pensioners that just sit there all day and pump all their money into these gambling boats.
There's got to be money in that we can get.
Oh, dude, we can get our hands on that.
Pod is moving to Mississippi.
Moving to Pascagula. But the reason I know about Pascagula, I actually spent a week here. I spent a month here 1 week when I was about 20 years old.
I remember this.
Yeah, it was my old stepdad's dad lives in Pascagula. I believe he still does. And I'm not going to say much about the town there. I mean, some of the people were pretty nice, but I stayed there long enough to kind of get to talk to some people, and it was just a very different vibe than up north. I mean, you're south. I mean, like I said, you're literally on the Gulf of Mexico. You can drive to the ocean. It's right there. And it is fucking south. And I'm going to kind of leave it there. You guys probably know where I could go with it. I saw some stuff that I just wasn't used to. I'll leave it there.
Like for people smoking crack rocks after work?
No, that's stuff I see here all the time. Yeah.
That's apparently what I do.
People were really nice. So that's why I was like, this is weird. For 46 years, I kept it a secret. I didn't even tell my wife about it. Calvin Parker told me in this thick Mississippi accent, referring to the evening of October 11th, 1973. That evening, Parker was fishing on the Pascagula River with his friend Charles Hickson. It was his first day on the job at F.B. Walker and Sons shipyard. Funny fact, that's not where my old step-grandpa worked, but he did work for offshore oil rig manufacturing.
Oh.
So they had a big shipyard there to work. It could have been, they could be contracted to the same place. It could have been there. Who knows? So it was the first day on the job. Hickson helped him to get it. He was 19 years old. His wedding a month away. He kind of waited a long time. He was almost 20 by the time he got married. Wow.
Whoa, what a
Talking about
prude.
getting old. So
late
he was
bloomer.
late bloomer. Am I right? So his wedding is a month away. His aspirations to live a simple life. I wanted to get married, wanted to have children, wanted to have grandchildren, wanted to buy a house, retire, and fish, said Parker, now 67, over the phone from the back porch of his current home in Moss Point, Mississippi. So the retiring and fishing has come about, but it was a long battle to get there. Pascagula native Rebecca Davis distinctly remembers Parker and Hickson's first story breaking when she was just 12 years old. I was at a friend's house, and you know where we live in the Bible Belt. I asked my friend's dad why he was putting aluminum foil on the windows, Davis recalled over the phone. He told me it was to keep the aliens from getting to our brains. Like that scene from Signs where they come home and Joaquin Phoenix has got them all with the fucking tinfoil hats on. He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? When Davis got home, she immediately asked her parents and grandparents about the aliens. I was stopped in my tracks and told, we did not talk about those things. Don't ever mention it again, Davis said. I was brought up a missionary Baptist, and so yeah, it was taboo. You don't talk about it. And pretty much Southern Mississippi is mostly that way. And I can confirm that the woman I stayed with, when I stayed down there, they yelled at us for like going to New Orleans and bringing back stuff from there. Like that's how serious they took. She said, get that voodoo shit out of my house. Get that voodoo shit out of my house is exactly how she said it. I'll never forget it. Dude, she got so pissed off and they had to like calm her down. They're like, dude, we didn't bring any voodoo stuff. Like she was genuinely concerned. That
It's like saltwater taffy.
yeah, it was like some stupid shit. It was like, oh yeah, we brought a hurricane from that bar, and like she was like pissed off. So
sorry, and also this pincushion.
right, also this voodoo stuff. Fuck your life. Despite the outward secrecy, when Davis's grandmother passed away in 2005 and the family cleaned out her house, Davis discovered her grandmother had saved every local newspaper article about the case of Calvin Parker and Charles Hickson. The events the two men reported that night thoroughly derailed Parker's pursuit of a quiet, mundane life, and it had all started when Hickson asked Parker if he wanted to go fishing after work. Parker, new to town, hadn't brought his fishing gear with him, so Hickson offered to loan him some of his. Now, for a man that loves to fish from the South to offer to use his fishing equipment, well, that's like him offering up his wife. Parker said.
Jesus
just
Christ, these
unheard of.
poor women.
Yeah, well, it's just property down here. Don't worry.
Holy fuck.
The men tried fishing at one location, but the swamping bugs prompted them to head back to the shipyard, where there were few lights to attract insects. Parker pointed out posted signs to Hickson when they pulled up, but Hickson brushed off the concerns about breaking the law. That don't mean nothing. I fish here all the time, he said. They walked down to the old pier, cast out their lines, and waited for a bite. I distinctly remember I was looking at a boat across, and it was an old oar boat, and they didn't do nothing with the weather with, just made it out of steel. And I was thinking to myself, now, how does something made of steel float? Parker remembered. That's where my mind was, and that's when I noticed the blue hazy lights coming in from behind. You could see the reflection across the water. Thinking the lights were police, he turned to Hickson and said, Charlie, we're in trouble. You lied to me, and we fixing to go to jail. When the men stood up and turned around, they said they didn't see police cars, but instead a long ovular raft floating around 2 feet from the ground. That is like dangerously close. You're going to hit something. Emitting a blindingly bright light. There was 3 bulky looking creatures. I still don't know what they were. That was coming towards us, Parker told me. By the time they got to us, I still couldn't see, for the light was just too bright. He described 2 of the creatures grabbing Hickson and 1 grabbing him. And that's when it carried aboard the craft. They brought him above the craft. I mean, they're in the fucking thing now. Parker said the creature stopped at the door and injected him with what he described as a go-to-hell shot. Whatever it was, ushered him from absolute terror to a sort of peaceful apathy. I just didn't care what the hell happened then. So they probably gave him morphine. I've had morphine before. That's pretty much what it feels like.
Yeah, pretty much like any opiate.
It just, everything goes away. It just melts. So basically, long story short, these 2 poor Southern men just trying to fish in an illegal spot have now been abducted by presumably ICE or aliens. And they've been shot up with morphine just to catch everybody up. Parker described the alien aboard the craft down a hallway and into a room where the creature placed him on an examination table made entirely of glass. According to Parker, at that point, the gray, wrinkled creature that brought him aboard the ship had left the room. That's when something came out of the ceiling, about the size of a deck of cards. He said there was a square-shaped object that circled around him, making a series of clicking noise. I never thought about it until lately, but it was like this MRI I was in, except the click wasn't that loud, Parker explained looking back, and then it just shot up back into the ceiling. Then a smaller being entered the room. When Parker said it made him feel more at ease, he couldn't move his body but rolled his head toward the creature. She was normal, he said. Matter of fact, if I'd been in a barroom drinking or something and she was single, at this time, I probably would have asked her out on a date. It looked like a human, he explained, except for its middle fingers. Her 2 middle fingers were real long.
Okay, she had 2 middle fingers?
So he found a lesbian. What he did was he found the first lesbian in
genetically
Mississippi.
superior race. Specifically,
and they don't like dudes, just like me.
They don't like dudes, just like, we got a lot in common.
We got a lot in common. Parker recalled later that without saying a word, the creature put its left hand in his jaw and opened his mouth. That's when she took her right hand and started running it down my throat, and I started gagging. She had scratched it up real bad, and it was bleeding. It was a darn mess. It pulled its hand back out. Parker had the impression that it didn't want to hurt him anymore. Then it made a groan from deep within its throat. I don't know if you've ever heard an alligator's mating call where they vibrate the whole air around you, but that's how it sounded. I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like a low growl. That's when the creature that Parker had initially brought him aboard the craft returned and carried him back to the bank of the river. That's where the story really starts, he said, and then my life turned pretty much to hell right after that. Parker said that his first instinct, which Hickson initially agreed with, was to not tell anyone about what happened to them. Shaken and in shock, the men returned to the car to find the passenger door window shattered. That's very strange how it would break like that. Is that an alligator call? Oh, that's kind of creepy. That sounds like a raptor. Or not a raptor, but a T-Rex. Ooh, that is unsettling.
Yeah, imagine a hot chick making that noise. I don't have to.
I think that would turn me on a little bit.
I've experienced that,
I might like that. I'd be scared, but also a little.
I'm terrified, but I'm kind of hard right now. What do I do? So Hickson dialed Kessler Air Force Base in Biloxi and briefly explained what happened to them before they added that they don't handle those UFO reports anymore. Project Blue Book was now, finished, is what they said, and they told him to call the local authorities. At the Jackson County Sheriff's Department, the men were questioned separately about their experience, then put in a room alone together when they secretly were recorded. On that tape, they were still talking about what happened to them and how scared they were, said Philip Mantle, a researcher with over 40 years of experiencing studying UFOs, whose company Flying Disc Press published Parker's 2 books about the abduction. Because there were a few books from the 90s about this case that I would really love to get into and get into more detail. I think Kelvin's almost praying at one time. Parker said that after the deputies listened to the secret tape recording, which he and Hickson didn't learn existed until much later, they took them more seriously. Parker urged the authorities not to tell anyone about what he and Hickson reported. It was kind of similar. Do you remember the Dogman encounter with the fishermen in like Muskegon or something like that here in Michigan, and how they kind of just didn't want to talk to people about it? Right. That's almost like, to me, it almost adds a layer of credibility.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Where, like,
because it's like, if some crazy ass shit happens to you and you're like, obviously nobody.
I just want to live a quiet life.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
like,
no one's going to believe me.
shit.
And I'm a manly man. I'm like a dude's dude. And like, I don't want to be out here being the guy who's known for being all foo-foo talking about aliens and shit.
Right.
I genuinely think that these are the kind of people you want testimonies from that don't want to talk about it at all. You got someone like Bob Lazar that's going around with this used car sale, like this fucking Jeremy Corbell guy. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that you're selling something. Yeah. This guy, he doesn't want this shit out at all. He doesn't want this shit out, and that's what it kind of gives me some.
Gives you the heebly jibblies.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, it's because him and her started dating.
Who?
The alien.
They kept it a secret, okay? That's a secret.
Because again, man, I don't want to talk about. It's fine. I know what I said about her, but look, man.
Yeah, because he's married. Isn't he? He's about to get married. So he wants to keep this shit covered up that he was actually secretly really turned on by this Nordic lesbian alien.
She got him off.
She got him off. At least once, maybe twice.
It's just Kate Blanchett. She has like really long fingers.
I was going to say Uma Thurman, but all right. So that's who I pictured in my head. When I think of Nordic aliens, I think Uma Thurman. So I wasn't going to tell a soul, he emphasized. But when we got back to the shipyard the next day, they already knew. When we got to work, F.B. Walker and the Sun's shipyard was swarmed by news vans. Parker estimated that around 200 reporters were all hoping to talk to him and Hickson. In addition to the reporters, astronomers and pioneering UFOologists Dr. J. Allen Hynek and Dr. James Hardner arrived in Pascagula within 36 hours to interview and hypnotize Parker and Hickson.
They're called UFOologists?
Ufologists.
Yes, ufologists. Yep.
Are you...
I wish I was joking.
That... Man, that bothers me. Yep. Like, just... yeah, because they're called...
Push past it, man. Push past it.
Because they're called aviationologists. Or fucking...
They're called biologists.
Well, because think about it. We don't really have a good term for UFOs. We have UAP. You want to call them UAPologists?
WEP.
I want to call them
WEPologists.
Well, it's ology specifically like refers to like
incredible
core
science.
Sciences. Yeah,
I think the idea is these people want it to be taken seriously because they do, honest to God, research it. Mm-hmm. I do think that there's probably some bad actors in a lot of these things, like MUFON and shit.
UFOologists, and these motherfuckers want to be taken seriously.
But people do spend a lot of time. I get it.
I'm not knocking the community. Silly. I'm saying if you want to be taken seriously,
we demand to be taken seriously.
That's literally, yes, exactly. Pick a way better name for the people who like study.
What's your top 3 alternative names?
Okay,
go.
Hit me. All right.
This is start with the worst one. Just first one that comes to your head.
Alien fucker.
Flyboy Rangers. Flyboy Rangers.
Okay, number 2. What's number 2?
Flyboy Rangers.
I like Flyboy Rangers.
Yeah, Flyboy Rangers.
Okay, what's number 2?
Number two. Shiny Boy Spotters.
We're
not putting together a fucking improv comedy troupe here. Okay, what's your number 1 best alternative to ufologist? A ufologist, if you will. Which I hate calling them that more. That sounds even dumber. An ufologist? Yeah, it sounds fucking so stupid. I mean, they call
because you're taking an acronym and like
you're
turning it into a word.
Yeah, you're trying to make it sound cool, slick.
Yeah, you can't. You're using an initialism And trying to turn it into
The thing is like nobody will talk. Like the government basically gives you a smokescreen every time you want to. So if you make a department to like, honest to God, try to debunk and talk about these things in an honest light, I do understand wanting to like try to take an approach where like, oh, maybe they'll take it seriously if we take. But yeah, it does sound silly. But I'm still curious. What's your top number one?
Number one.
You're not getting out of this.
Damn it.
Top number one alternative to ufologists.
I mean,
Discman.
The
walking disc.
Dude, I really like Shiny Boy Spotters. That's
What about moon men enthusiasts?
Moon Man enthusiast.
They imply that there's men on the moon and beyond.
Ooh.
But that's not your idea. That's mine.
Thruster theorists.
That's just kind of like
And then you'll totally
scientists.
fuck.
That's
too.
also,
you'll
like-
also be fucking all the time. You'll
Yeah,
actually
they
probably
fuck.
have to
This guy
get to
fucks.
something else so you don't get too much tail.
Too much.
Because then it'll get it in way of your studies. You need to stay focused on
Yeah,
the UFOs.
but it also sounds the most professional.
I like the Flyboy Beta Cucks.
Flyboy Raptors. Don't you do the Flyboy Raptors like this?
Let's keep pushing. In addition to the reporters, astronomers, pioneering ufologists, now he got to go to California, to Pascagula, Mississippi in that short amount of time, and I don't know, but he was down there. Parker later told me about Hynek, who was a scientific advisor for these 3 major UFO studies undertaken by the U.S. Air Force, Project Sign, Project Grudge, and Project Blue Book. And then there's also Majestic 12, which is another one out there. Of course, I lost my job at the shipyard because people wouldn't leave me alone, Parker told me. He drove me back to Laurel, hoping to leave the events of October 11th behind in Pascagula. And it started from there. It was like a roller coaster. I went to work. The reporter would show up at work while I was working, and the people you work for eventually got tired of that, so I'd lose another job. Eventually, Parker went by the name Randy to avoid the constant barrage of press, and that's where it all went from there, to hide. But this has followed me all of my life. So this certainly helps, talking to a fucking reporter about it now. From his home.
I don't want to talk about it.
So, by the way, let me talk about it.
Let me tell him eggs.
I'm going to tell you really quick. From his home in West Yorkshire in the north of England, Mansell described the plot of the 1980s television show The Hulk. Basically, the Hulk was tackled by the journalists, and every time the journalist caught up with him, he'd move on to the next town. Calvin was the real-life Hulk. Although he didn't turn into some big green monster every time he was recognized or the journalist caught up with him, this poor man, he literally, with his wife and family, packed up to get away from them time and time again. And they would just keep finding him. So, of course, despite the sheriff's secret tape recording, the multiple hypnosis sessions, and the polygraph test backing up Parker and Hickson's story, many of the men's own friends and family did not even believe them. We took the polygraph test, the voice stress test, been hypnotized 3 times, had more credible witnesses than any case around, and more credible people talking. But see, back in the 70s, people thought you was crazy to have done something or seen something like that. Parker said that he isn't sure who believed him and who didn't at the time because he avoided talking about it for so long. One thing, my daddy-in-law didn't believe me when this first happened. He told my wife, "You don't need to marry him," and all that stuff, he said, but he came back and apologized. He pulled me aside and said, "Son, I owe you an apology. I didn't believe you when this happened, but I've seen something since then and I believe it. There's no doubt in my mind that this happened to you." So Parker, still a religious man, had once considered becoming a preacher. Another dream derailed in that night. It took so much credibility away that I wouldn't have had enough people coming to believe me. I didn't think. When a documentary reporter later asked him, "How would you feel if I told you that I didn't believe you?" Parker answered, "You know, fella, that's your opinion. If you want to believe it, you can. If you don't, I don't know. That's what happened. I'm telling you the truth, and I know that." Now, in his retirement, and with Hickson having passed away in 2011, Parker is more open to talking about that night than he ever was before, and his wife is largely to thank for that. Despite the fact decades ago Parker's experience in the river led to their brief divorce before they remarried, it was all my fault. It wasn't her fault, Parker emphasized on speakerphone with Waynette sitting right next to him on the porch. "I just couldn't handle the pressure. I had a nervous breakdown."
Somebody offered me a really nice tackle box.
That's all it took. It was like a $20 tackle box, and he's like sold. Yeah. So it doesn't go too much further into the actual events of that night, where it kind of talks about his fallout, and he lost his job there. That kind of sucks. And this story is kind of parallel with another one that I wanted to cover, but I chose this one instead. Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the story of Travis Walton. He was the main inspiration for the movie Fire in the Sky.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep.
He's a man that did go missing for some time. From his, they had a what do you call them? Contracted lumbermen. That's the word I was looking for. The lumbermen that were contracted to clear out this part of the forest in Oregon, conveniently, right before a deadline that they always had trouble meeting. The main guy, Travis, was claimed to have been missing for he didn't come home. Fucker probably just stayed out in the woods, roughed it for a little bit. The cops didn't really get involved because they didn't believe him. There was so much bullshittery and lying and drugs, and I'm pretty sure that they made the whole thing up. It's a really cool story, Fire in the Sky. If you've ever seen the movie, it's great. I, for a long time, kind of believed that story of Travis Walton, but the more you look into it, the more it seems really unscrupulous, kind of like with Bob Lazar. I really want to believe that he's telling the truth. He has a really cool story to say, and he's kind of stuck with it his whole time, just like Travis Walton. I mean, he's still at his advanced age now, still going to UFO communities and stuff, these fucking Comic-Con shit, and talking to people. But I don't know. There's something that as soon as you kind of put a couple cracks in the case, and it kind of comes right open. You're like, I don't know about any of this. And I don't know. So I'm not saying for sure I disbelieve people like Bob Lazar or Travis Walton, the Fire in the Sky guy. But, this one seemed like the most, I've read all those stories and I'm very familiar with them. And this one seemed like the most credible. It did have some parallels to that, the Fire in the Sky one, because it's these people got abducted and then their lives were kind of turned upside down after. But the difference being where these people just kind of wanted to live quiet lives, normal little quiet lives, and go fishing, and the other people were already fucking shitheads. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I chose to read this one, and why I think this is a little bit more credible. This is also not as widely known. Not many people have heard of the Pascagula abduction. Not really, like we said, not really too much happened. The guy got he got throat fucked by a long-fingered lesbian Nordic woman. Nordic
and
lesbian, they fucking put him back out in the woods, in the swamp, and said, there you go, enjoy life, knowing that there's aliens out there, and they couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you have anything you want to add to it? We want to do the last story of the night.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
It's fucking whack, right?
Yeah, it is pretty whack.
The blue light and the fucking, the giant steel ship out in the distance.
Yeah, I the fucking line. I tried to push it out of my mind, but he was like, I don't know how it was made out of steel, and yet it was able to float. It's what you mean? Every boat that's
ever
been made since 1850?
Right, yeah, that's what I don't get the idea. The guy has no. He just thinks all boats are wooden still, from the 1700s. He's like, wait, when did they come up with that contraption? What do you mean combustible engine?
How the hell? It weighs 30,000 pounds, but it floats like a duck. I don't get it.
I don't get it at all, but I
insane.
guess.
That bed's got to be at least 2 tons.
Right, dude, these horrible estimations. That thing right there, it's got to be at least 14 tons. What? You mean that futon over there? All right, Ethan, read us your article so we can go home. Well, I'm home.
You live here.
Kind of.
Machi. This thing's long.
Well, you don't have to read all of it. Just read the good parts.
That's fair. All right, let's grip it and
Spark
rip it.
notes this motherfucker.
Yeah, Spark Notes it. Like the Great Gatsby.
Shit, I gotta read.
Yeah.
Some
Rich
bitch.
guy goes to party as rich guy.
Editor's
Lady
note.
gets hit by
Wants to
car.
marry
This
his cousin.
article
Wants to marry
was
his cousin.
originally published on January 25th, 2014.
Wow, it's a long time ago.
A woman and 3 children who claimed to be possessed by demons. A 9-year-old boy walking backwards up a wall in the presence of a family case manager and hospital nurse. Holy shit.
Ooh,
In front of a case manager is actually up
That's
a
kinda
wall
serious.
backwards? Okay, I'm
Whoa.
interested. I'm here now. I wasn't sure, but now I'm here. Up a wall
That's
backwards.
creepy as fuck, honestly.
Yeah, no, that
For
that,
a fucking actual person that works for the state
that's
to
what
write
I'm saying.
that
That's what,
down.
like a mother saying that about her kids, whatever, in front of a case manager and a hospital nurse.
Yeah, no, that apparently happened in the hospital. That's the idea behind that, because I know a lot about the story, but continue. Yeah, it's fucking metal as
Sick,
shit.
dude.
This
Yeah,
is the
holy shit.
creepiest story of the night.
Gary Police Captain Charles Austin said it was the strangest story he'd ever heard. Austin, a 36-year-old veteran of the Gary Police Department, said he initially thought Indianapolis resident LaToya Ammons and her family concocted an elaborate tale as a way to make money. But after several visits to their home and interviews with witnesses, Austin simply said, "I'm a believer."
Yeah, the cop, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yep. Henry Zabrowski kind of made fun of him because he's like, you know what? I don't really want my cops believing in ghosts. But this is the exact case they were talking about too. But
Gotcha.
continue. That's really funny. Because they did make him a believer. They made a cop with it, which should tell you something. If he wasn't before, I can see kind of Razum. If you go into the cop, go into being a cop as being a believer, you should be pretty skeptical.
Yeah.
But then if something like this turns your mind around, like you'd actually change your mind, that should say something. All right, go ahead.
Not everyone involved with the family was inclined to believe its incredible story, and many readers will find Ammon's supernatural claims impossible to accept. But whatever the cause of the creepy occurrences that befell the family, whether they were seized by a systemic delusion or demonic possession, it led to one of the most unusual cases ever handled by the Department of Child Services. Many of the events are detailed in nearly 800 pages of official records obtained by the Indianapolis Star and recounted in more than a dozen interviews with police, DCS personnel, psychologists, family members, and a Catholic priest. Ammons, who swears by her story, has been unusually open. While she spoke on condition her children not be interviewed or named, she signed releases letting the Star review medical, pathological, and official records that are not open to the public and not always flattering. Okay, so she's like, check the fucking receipts.
Yeah, no,
you're not talking to the kids, but check the fucking receipts.
Well, that's how they have that to say, is because she literally let them access their medical records and their fucking CPS records and shit.
Furthermore, the family story is made only more bizarre because it involves a DCS intervention, a string of psychological evaluations, a police investigation, and ultimately a series of exorcisms. It's a tale, they say, that started with flies. This is not normal. In November 2011, Ammon's family moved into a rental house on Carolina Street in Gary, a quiet lane lined with small one-story homes. Big black flies suddenly swarmed their screened-in porch in December, despite the winter chill.
Ooh, that's creepy.
This is not normal, Ammon's. This is not normal. Ammon's mother, Rosa Campbell, remembers thinking, "We killed them and killed them and killed them, but they kept coming back." There were other strange happenings, too. After midnight, Campbell and Ammons both said they occasionally heard the steady clump of footsteps climbing the basement stairs and the creak of the door opening between the basement and kitchen. No one was there. Even after they locked the door, the noise continued. Campbell said she awoke one night and saw a shadowy figure of a man pacing her living room. She leapt out of bed to investigate and found large, wet boot prints. On March 10th, 2012, that's the day before your birthday, Campbell said the family's unease turned to fear. 12-year-old levitates. It was about 2 a.m. Normally, Campbell, Ammons, and her children would have been asleep, but they were mourning the death of a loved one with a group of friends. Ammons, who was in Campbell's bedroom, startled everyone by screaming, "Mama! Mama!" Campbell said she ran into her bedroom where her then 12-year-old granddaughter and a friend were staying. Ammons and Campbell said the 12-year-old was levitating above the bed unconscious.
What the
According to their account of events, Ammons and several others surrounded the girl praying. Campbell said she remembers being terrified. "I thought, what's going on?" Campbell said. "Why is this happening?" Eventually, Campbell said her granddaughter descended onto the bed. The girl woke up with no memory of what happened, Campbell said. Campbell and Ammons said the people who were visiting that night refused to return. Yeah, no shit. I would not go back to that. Not even a little bit. Campbell says she remembers telling her daughter, "We need help. We need to talk to someone who knows how to deal with it." Campbell and Ammons said they didn't know exactly what it was, but they believed it was something supernatural. They called local churches, but most refused to listen. How the fuck are you going to be at church and be like, "No, we don't"?
Because they don't want to deal with that
Yeah,
shit.
they're like, mm-mm.
Because then they have to acknowledge that the shit's real. They're like, oh shit, God's
They're
real.
like, wait,
Like all the shit I talk about is actually real. I can't.
nah, dude. Oh, shit. Find someone who believes the grift.
Right. Oh shit, I've been too deep.
Too rich for my blood. I'm out of here. Eventually, after listening to Campbell and Ammons talking about the house and visiting it, officials at one church told them the Carolina Street house had spirits in it. They recommended the family clean the home with bleach and ammonia, then use oil to draw crosses on every door and window.
Ammonia? Doesn't that make mustard gas?
What is a bacteria but a small
That
ghost?
actually is legitimately how you make chlorine.
gas.
That is how you make
not
mustard or chlorine gas.
Chlorine gas.
Chlorine
Yeah.
gas, right.
Yep. Yeah, so I think they were just like,
They're
look, we
trying
don't
to
want to
get them
deal with these
off
people.
themselves.
We don't want to deal with this, but if you guys aren't around, we don't have to.
Yeah, we'll just next clowns will deal with it.
What do we tell them? Bleach and ammonia.
Bleach and
Same
ammonia?
as last time. Yep.
Bleach and ammonia.
Yeah,
Big old
bleach and
jug.
ammonia. That's,
Big old
ghosts
jug, put it in the
ghosts hate
bathtub.
chlorine gas, so breathe as much of it in as you can.
Yep. And
They
that'll
hate chemical.
purge.
They fucking hate chemical warfare, man. Ghosts hate that shit. 9 out of 10 ghost hunters don't want you to know this.
It's one simple trick. You don't-
Demons hate this one easy trick. At the church's suggestion, Ammons said she poured olive oil on her 3 children's hands and feet and smeared oil in the shape of crosses on their foreheads. Campbell and Ammons said the Star also told the Star they reached out to 2 clairvoyants who said the family's home was besieged by more than 200 demons. Their explanation made sense to Campbell and Ammons, they say, because it messed with their Christian faith. The best thing you can do is move, Ammons remembers the clairvoyants telling her, but moving wasn't an option for the cash-strapped family. That's the biggest fucking perpetuator
Yeah,
of hauntings.
can't get out of a shitty
is
situation.
Being poor.
That's what I always hate about haunted movies when I watch them. I think they're so unrealistic because sometimes they just get up and leave and then the thing follows them. But I'm like, how can you just afford to just leave? Like I could, like if my house is haunted, like fuck it, I'm just here. I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in this shit for at least a few years.
Yeah, right. Looks like I'm opening up the guest room.
Right. Looks like the gate to hell is going to be open here, dude, because I can't move.
If I
Cannot
was
afford to.
genuinely convinced that where I was living was haunted, I would, in fact, I'd claim bankruptcy on the spot. I'd be like, actually, I'm fucking good. I'll catch you guys later. Rather be alive and broke than dead and rich.
I don't think a ghost can kill you though.
I feel like in a lot of ghost movies, people do end up dying.
But that's just for the Hollywood effect. I think they just terrorize you until you want to kill yourself.
I actually live like that on a day-to-day. I don't need a ghost to help it with that.
You're like, do it. Your life
So
sucks.
that would be exactly what I needed to go over the edge, and actually
like, this is
claiming
actually really
bankruptcy
harmful
and
for my
moving
mental
back in
health.
with my parents
I'm not
probably would be better for my mental health.
Right,
than
I'm not
anything
scared
else
of the
right now.
ghosts. They're just really harsh in my
They're
vibe.
just really mean.
They're really mean.
all the time.
I just don't have the energy for this. All right. Instead, Ammons said she took a clairvoyant's advice and made an altar in the basement. Ammons covered an end table with a white sheet, then placed a white candle and statue of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus on it. She opened a Bible to Psalm 91. She said she and another person donned white t-shirts and wound white scarves around their heads. Also on the clairvoyant's advice, they burned sage and sulfur throughout the house, starting upstairs, working their way down. The smoke was so thick they could hardly breathe. They really just want to fucking kill these people.
Yeah, they're trying to knock these people out.
Ammons drew a cross with the smoke. The person she was with read Psalm 91 aloud as they moved through the house. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday.
Oh, I thought it was You Shall Not Pass.
And this is more of a banger.
Oh.
Just kidding. Again, you don't fuck with Tolkien. Ammons said nothing odd happened for 3 days. Then things got worse. Oh, they didn't do it hard enough. It's like antibiotics.
You got to do it for more than 3 days.
You
dude.
gotta
At least a
really,
week.
you gotta finish the regimen.
Yeah.
If you
It's true.
don't, they're gonna come back harder. This is so okay. So ghosts are like
Basically like bacteria.
Like bacterial infection.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Same
Kinda
way.
the same
Treat
thing.
them the same way.
That's good to know. We're gonna need the Constantine 2's coming out. He's gonna need to know this.
It's true.
Put a bookmark on this episode this time.
The family said demons possessed Ammons and her children, then ages 7, 9, and 12. The kids' eyes bulged, evil smiles crossed their faces, and their voices deepened every time it happened.
Hey,
Campbell and Ammons
cheese.
said Campbell said the demons didn't affect her because she was born with protection from evil. She said she and others like her have a guardian who protects them. That's convenient.
It's plot armor.
I am protected by my father before me. Ammons said she felt weak, lightheaded, and warm when she was possessed. Her body shook and she felt out of control. You can tell it's different, something supernatural. The youngest boy, then 7, sat in a closet talking to a boy that no one else can see. The other boy was describing what it felt like to be killed. Jesus fuck.
Jeez, man.
That's like, okay, I was literally about to be like, well, like my 3-year-old talks to the wall and like random shit all the fucking time.
That's
Like
creepy as
nothing.
fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
No, it's normal.
They just do that.
Yeah, just, anyone who's had more than one singular kid is like, no, it's just kids just do it. There's nothing like
They just be
like
doing
it.
creepy shit.
Yeah, like kids just because they're like, let's explore every option. Sometimes they explore creepy options.
Yeah.
And you're like, didn't know I could be freaked out by that, but it turns out I can be. Okay, that was weird.
3-year-olds could be
but
terrifying.
then it happens enough, and you're like, okay, like it's just another day. Like it's, but yeah, being described what it feels like to be killed, that's a little on the nose. Campbell said the 7-year-old once flew out of the bathroom as if he'd been thrown, and a headboard once smacked into Eamon's daughter, causing a wound that needed stitches. The 12-year-old would later tell mental health professionals that she sometimes felt as if she were being choked and held down so she couldn't speak or move. She said she heard a voice say she'd never see her family again and wouldn't live another 20 minutes.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, dude, they really are going through it.
There's some abusive demons, man.
Yeah.
They don't call them demons for nothing.
That's what I'm saying, man. You just got to get the fuck out of there, no matter the cost. Some nights are so bad the family slept at a hotel. Jesus fuck. Okay, they definitely, if they can afford to go to hotels, it's so bad, they need to get the fuck out of here. I don't. Finally, in desperation, they went to their family physician, Dr. Joffrey Oinikiwu.
That sounds right. Oinky noiki.
Oinky noinkins.
Yeah, Dr. Oinky noiki.
Oinikiwu. On April 19th, 2012. Eamon said she told him what they were going through, hoping he might understand. He told the Star it was bizarre. 20 years, and I've never heard anything like that in my life, he said. I was scared myself when I walked into the room. He said he would not speak in more detail unless Ammons had psychiatric clearance for the waiver of confidentiality she had signed. In his medical notes about the visit, Doctor wrote, I'm just saying doctor because I'm not trying that name again.
Oinky noinky.
The doctor wrote, that's worse.
Oinky noiki.
The doctor wrote delusions of ghost in home and hallucinations. He also wrote history of ghost at home and delusional. What Ammons and Campbell say happened next also was detailed in a DCS report of a family case manager's interviews with medical staff. Campbell said Ammon's son cursed the doctor and demonic voices raging at him. Medical staff said the youngest boy was lifted and thrown into the wall with nobody touching him, according to a DCS report. The boys abruptly passed out and wouldn't come to, Campbell added. She cradled one boy in her arms. Ammons held the other. Someone from the doctor's office called 911.
We're already at the doctor's.
The
Just
doctor
go down
said,
the hall.
The doctors 911, it's an emergency. Yeah,
What's
where
your
the
location?
doctors are.
The hospital.
Like 3 feet.
Like 3 feet
that
to the
way.
left.
Is there
Room
a doctor in the
117. Stupid.
The boy, oh yeah. 7 or 8 police officers and multiple ambulances showed up. They couldn't figure out exactly what was happening, he recalled. Police and emergency personnel took the boys to Methodist Hospital campus in Gary. Ammon said hospital personnel laughed at her desire to anoint her sons in olive oil. I couldn't talk to them, she said, so I talked to God. The boys woke up in the hospital. The older boy, then 9, acted rationally, but the youngest screamed and thrashed, Campbell said. She said it took 5 men to hold him down. Meanwhile, someone called DCS and asked the agency to investigate Ammons for possible child abuse or neglect. The caller, who was not named in the DCS report, speculated that Ammons might have a mental illness. The person believed the children were performing for Ammons, and she was encouraging their behavior. DCS family care manager Valerie Washington was asked to handle the initial investigation. She gave up the following account to police and in her intake officer's report. Hospital personnel examined Ammons and her children and found them to be healthy and free of marks or bruises. A hospital psychiatrist evaluated Ammons and determined she was of sound mind. Washington interviewed the family in the hospital. While she spoke with Ammons, the 7-year-old boy started growling with his teeth showing. His eyes rolled back in his head. Jesus Christ, his eyes rolled back in his head. The boy locked his hands around his older brother's throat and refused to let go until adults pried his hands open.
Okay, like to be fair, like some of this stuff, like my nephew has done.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's
Totally.
psycho kids.
They just do some shit sometimes. Like literally, there will be times where he's just sitting playing and he'll just go. Just like, what the fuck, dude? What was that?
Death! Yeah, dude, fucking.
Yeah, I know kids be doing some wild shit, but the fact that like this is like a somewhat documented
Yeah.
like they've been talking to these kids and they actually all these adults watch this kid like walk backwards up a fucking wall.
That is pretty
That's-
crazy.
That's a little abnormal.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, how far up the wall did he get? Because that's where I'm
I gotta say, at
concerned.
least 4-6 feet if it made the report.
Yeah.
If
You
he
would think-
just fucking
if
made it a
it's like
foot
his
or
feet
two.
are like on the floor still. He's just
Yeah,
like,
he's just like.
This is 2011. They had camera
You're
phones
trying to do
back
back-
then. Why did
yeah.
no one record this?
That's a good point.
I mean, 2011, 2012. You can't overestimate the technological advances of some spots. Though Gary, Indiana, might have been a little behind.
Oh, that's actually Gary, Indiana is known for being about a decade behind.
Yeah, because
They covered that in South Park.
2012 is actually the first. Is when you can actually mark it as the first time a majority of over 50% people had internet.
Yeah.
That was the first time, which is wild. I think it's only 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But so that's also can go with like security cams, like footage, closed capture footage, all that stuff. So
Damn.
closed circuit television.
Later that evening, Washington and registered nurse Willie Lee Walker brought the two boys into a small exam room for an interview. Campbell joined them. The 7-year-old stared into his brother's eyes and began to growl again. "It's time to die," the boy said. "Oh, it's time to die," the boy said in a deep, unnatural voice. "I will kill you." While the youngest boy spoke, the older brother started headbutting Campbell in the stomach. Campbell grabbed her grandson's hands and started praying. What happened next would rattle the witnesses, and to some it would offer not only evidence, but proof of paranormal activity. According to Washington's original DCS report, an account corroborated by Walker, the nurse, the 9-year-old had a weird grin and walked backward up a wall to the ceiling.
Oh,
He then
dude.
flipped over Campbell, landing on his feet. He never let go of his grandmother's hand.
That kid was just learning how to break dance. They got a little scared. They couldn't handle the smoke.
It's true.
Ba, ba, ba. He's like, hey
Walked
guys, check out my new little dance moves.
How much money are we gonna have to
Backward
invest
up a
into-
wall to the ceiling,
That is.
then flipped over her, landing on his feet, and never let go of her hand the whole time.
Okay,
That
but
kid's going
But if you
places.
do it fast enough, okay. But backwards, okay. The backwards is what's
the backwards, what's weird is, does it mean he's running backwards like moonwalking up the thing?
right.
Or does it mean he's running backwards like he's running like he turned the other way and ran? Like, fuck you,
Yeah, because I'm picturing like a Ringu situation where it's the
Yeah, me too.
know?
Yeah.
No, I'm imagining like you're holding the hand, and
And he
then
kinda
you just were to walk backwards. And then like you walk backwards and you
Yeah,
walk
and
up
he's
the
like-
wall, and then you get to the ceiling, and then you just flip over, and you're still holding the hand the whole time.
So you're theoretically your arm would have rotated 360 to
Yes.
Yeah,
Which that's
fucking-
super possible. That's
It
actually
is.
the most
Some people,
possible
yeah,
thing.
that's the most possible thing because you
of
can
the-
rotate it completely. Some people can dislocate. It can kind of dislocate and
Yeah, you might have to go like at an angle, but
Yeah.
even still, like kids are made out of rubber.
Yeah,
so
they
like
are.
a
They really
9-year-old would have been like, yeah.
Now, if you told me a 36-year-old did this, I would say absolutely
Yeah.
there's a possession involved.
Yeah, like actually, the arm being able to go comfortably around is the most
Completely- yeah, it's like
disturbing
the-
thing.
of
If
a
you're talking about
36-year-old doing that.
I actually don't care that you walked up a wall into the ceiling, whatever, fine. How the fuck did you move your arm like that?
Where did you get that range of motion?
That shit hurts now, and it pops and cracks and is not fun.
He's up in their stretches.
He walked up the wall, flipped over her, and stood there, Walker told the Star. There's no way he could have done that. Later, police asked Washington whether the boy had run up the wall as though performing an acrobatic trick. Nope, so here we go. No, Washington told them. She said the boy glided backward on the floor, wall, and ceiling, according to police report.
So he just moonwalked the whole thing.
Glided, so maybe he wasn't even moving his feet.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, because moonwalking, you're still moving your feet.
No, it's magic.
Your feet still
You really
move,
gonna tell
though.
me you watch that shit and don't think it's fucking magic? Come on.
Your feet are still moving, though.
No,
Magic Never mind.
Magic happens.
Washington did not respond to the star's request for comment, but she told police she was scared when it happened and ran out of the room.
What the fuck?
As for Walker, Washington said, he ran out of the room with me. We didn't know what was going on, Walker told the Star. That was crazy. I was like, everybody gotta go.
Everybody out of my hospital.
Everybody gotta
Take this
go.
shit to a church. This is out of my fucking realm.
According to Washington's report, they told the doctor what happened. The doctor, who did not believe them, asked the boy to walk up the wall again. Walker said he told the doctor he doubted the boy could repeat the feat. This kid was not himself when he did that, Walker said. The boy said he didn't remember what happened and couldn't do it, according to Washington's report. Walker, who said he previously believed in demons and spirits, thought the boy's behavior had some demonic spirit to it, but also was the result of a mental illness. Pick a lane.
Yeah, right. He's like, yeah, I could do
It's
both.
demonic, but also
both.
he's fucking. I can't say the word.
So
I know what you're putting down.
so the demon's only half of it. The other half, he's just fucking nuts.
Yeah, the other half
He's
is just a little
fucking nuts.
squirrely.
Yeah,
He's just a regular
50-50. He's
demon.
either dumb
What
or
do they used to call?
possessed.
What do
Yeah.
they used to call those kids? He's just eccentric.
He's just eccentric.
He's a little eccentric.
He's just a handful.
Eccentric is like, I feel like almost
like a gay
exclusively like
thing.
an old person.
Old
Yeah.
gay.
Doesn't have to be gay. Just someone who's
All right.
older
Well,
and
I was
like.
trying to think.
Like you don't have any kids, but you have a cat.
Yeah, he's
Or like a little eccentric.
like a monitor lizard or something.
I would think
Yeah.
like the Great
Like a
Gatsby is
Komodo
eccentric.
dragon. That's almost like the best definition you can think of when you think of eccentric.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pick a lane. A police report quoted Washington saying she believed there could have been an evil influence affecting the family. Eamon said she spent the night at the hospital with her 7-year-old son while Campbell took Eamon's daughter and older son to a relative's home in Gary. The next day was Eamon's youngest son's 8th birthday. Eamon said DCS officials asked Campbell to bring the older children back to the hospital, presumably to talk more about what happened. The family celebrated the boy's birthday by singing and eating a miniature cake. Then, Eamon said Washington told them the children wouldn't be going home. DCS took the emergency step of taking custody of the children without a court order. Damn.
Holy shit.
All of the children were experiencing spiritual and emotional distress, Washington wrote in the DCS forms. Ammons told the Star she and her children cried because they didn't want to be separated. We'd already been through so much and fought so hard for our lives, she recalled. It was obvious we were a team and we were beating it, whatever we were fighting. We made it through together as a team and they separated us.
That's nuts.
It Must Be Scared of Me is the next chapter. The Rev, Michael Magneto? The Rev, Michael Magneto, was leading Bible study in his living room the morning of April 20th, 2012,
No relation.
when he received a call from a hospital chaplain. Magneto had been the priest at St. Stephen Martyr Parish in Maryville for more than 10 years, but had never received a request like this one. The chaplain asked him to perform an exorcism on Eamon's 9-year-old son. Magneto agreed to interview the family after Sunday Mass a few days later. The first step, Magneto said, was ruling out natural causes for what Eamon's and her family said they were experiencing. He visited Eamon's and Campbell in the Carolina Street home April 22nd, 2012. For 2 hours, Eamon's and Campbell detailed the phenomena for him. Phenomena. Yeah, I said that right.
Phenomena.
Phenomena. Then Campbell interrupted the interview to point out a flickering bathroom light. The flickering stopped each time Magneto walked over to investigate, which he attributed to a demonic presence. It must be scared of me, he later told the Star he had thought. The interview was interrupted again when Campbell pointed out Venetian blinds in the kitchen swinging even though there was no air current. Magneto said he also saw wet footprints through the living room. Ammons complained about having a headache, and Magneto said she convulsed when he placed a crucifix against her head. After a 4-hour interview, Magneto said he was convinced the family was being tormented by demons. He said he also believed there were ghosts in this house. Jesus fuck, they're different?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, look, man, we got both.
We got both.
We got
both at
both
play here.
I'll tell you right now, they're both very real, and
That's
you
why you
do
want to
have them.
You want to mix ammonia and
That's
bleach.
what it was.
Ammonia for demons.
Which is
one
for
for
which
guts.
do you think? Bleach has got to be for
Bleach is for demons, I think,
Yeah,
because
okay.
I associate demons with like blood
Yep.
and like fucking guts and
yeah,
cum
true.
and stuff. So you want bleach to really get all that out,
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that
But
makes
then
sense.
also,
And
I don't
ghost is like
know.
a smudge on a window, so ammonia gets
But I was thinking, so like bleach, like it makes your clothes white,
And
right?
that's what I was also
Yeah.
thinking is it blots out the ghost, and then ammonia like is just like piss smelling and bad, and so like demons.
I think demons would like that though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They get off on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
demons would hate the smell
Like,
of
yeah,
bleach.
piss all over me. I'm a fucking
Too
little
clean,
demon.
too clean.
Yeah,
they love
that's
bacteria.
fair.
Bacteria are
They
just
like
small
to-
demons.
They like
That's
dirty,
true.
dirty little fucks.
Fuck yeah. So they had both. Bummer.
So they
Magneto
performed the
blessed the house before he left,
Okay.
praying.
Magneto, yes, yes. Former Auschwitz survivor, Magneto, now turned superhero.
You put Holocaust memories in my head. Sprinkling each, reading from the Bible and sprinkling holy water in each room. He told Ammons and Campbell to leave because it wasn't safe. They temporarily moved in with a relative. Gary Police Captain starts to believe. But less than a week later, the two women were back on Carolina Street to let Washington, the DCS family case manager, check the condition of the home. Washington asked a Lake County police officer to come with her. Two other officers, one each from Gary and Hammond Police Department, asked to join them out of professional curiosity. Ammons refused to go inside, but Campbell agreed to accompany the group. Ammons' kids still were in DCS custody. The main floor had 3 bedrooms, a living room, 1 bathroom, hardwood floors, and a small, open-style kitchen. A door in the kitchen led to a basement with concrete floors. Directly under the stairs was a dirt floor. The concrete around it was jagged, as though it had been broken. The makeshift altar Ammons had created was still in place, along with rings of salt she had poured against the basement walls to dissuade demons, according to the Hammond Police Department report. Campbell told officers that demons seemed to emanate from beneath the stairs. Austin, the Gary police captain, was one of those officers. He later told the Star he believed in ghosts and the supernatural, but said he didn't believe in demons. That's a weird fucking distinction.
Yeah, that's a weird line to draw.
Yeah. Like, demons, no. Ghosts, for sure.
hill
For
to
sure.
die on.
Yeah, like,
I'm a scientist.
Yeah, listen, let's keep it real, okay, guys? Come on. Come on now, don't be
Get real.
ridiculous.
Austin said he changed his mind after visiting the Carolina Street house. During the interview with Campbell, one of the officer's audio recorders malfunctioned. According to Austin and Hammond police records, the power light flashed to indicate the batteries were dying, even though the officer had placed fresh batteries in the recorder earlier that day.
Yeah, there's no way he could have forgot to
Yeah,
do that.
exactly. Oh, yeah, I totally did it. Fuck, yeah, no one's ever
Ghost.
lied
Yeah,
about
just-
work.
They're like, yeah, just shut up.
Yeah, I
tell
did
him
it.
to go
I
sit
did it.
Yeah.
Another officer recorded audio, and when he played it back later, heard an unknown voice whispering, "Hey," according to Lake County police records. The officer also took photos of the house. In one photo of the basement stairs, there was a cloudy white image in the upper right-hand corner. With an officer, it doesn't have fat fingers. When an officer enlarged the photo, that cloud appeared to resemble a face, Lake County police records state. The enlargement also revealed a second green image that police say looks like a female.
Enhance. Enhance.
They got Abby from NCIS on the shit.
Just enhancing it at the police department. They're like, why are you looking at ghost pictures? Are we spending tax dollars on this?
I'm telling the president. Austin said photos he snapped with his iPhone also have to seem... Okay, well, that's... Okay, I'm going to... Also seem to have strange silhouettes in them. The radio in his police-issued Ford malfunctioned on the way home. Well, I mean, that just goes to show you the build quality of iPhones and Fords. Yeah. I mean, for the record, though, iPhones do have an issue where in certain lighting conditions, it looks like you have like...
And this is a 2012 iPhone, too.
so.
This is a really old iPhone.
No, that's a real thing. And then the radio, I mean, I work for Ford.
No, genuinely, Ford radios break a lot.
Well, radios break a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Can't blame for it.
Mine broke off in the winter because it got frozen with ice, and I hit it with my ice scraper, and it just snapped the antenna off.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That does suck.
What are you gonna do?
Somebody stole my car radio, and now you just sit in silence. Now Jeff Lee just sits in silence.
Yeah. That's the way I like it.
Later, Austin said the garage at his Gary home refused to open, even though the power was on everywhere else.
And
He
then
fucking
my
caught a
garage door
hitchhiker
wouldn't
one.
open.
This is obviously the work of a demon.
He's just having one really bad day, and he's just like, demons! I'm a believer now. Like, that did not take much, man.
Stupid.
You're like one of those guys who's like one
And then
bad
I
day
stubbed my
away
toe
from
when I was
killing
walking into
everyone.
the kitchen.
Obviously. I don't own Legos. Where
Then I
these come from?
overcooked my pot roast.
Demons.
Austin said the driver's seat in his personal 2005 Infiniti also started moving backwards and forwards on its
Okay.
own. I love it's like you got it like it's a 2005.
Now we're getting really into fucking specifics.
It's a
of car
7-year-old
issues.
car. It doesn't. It could easily have electrical issues. He said he had the car checked at a dealership, and the mechanic told him the motor on the driver's seat was broken, which the mechanic said could have caused a distraction leading to an accident. What?
Okay. Good to know.
That's okay. So, but did the ghost just have bad timing then? Mechanic's like, yeah, dude, if you would have been in this car when this seat moved, probably could have been an accident like that.
Could you imagine a seat moving?
You should have bought
causing
the
you
warranty,
to fucking
man.
Have a horrible head-on collision.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, my seat's moving. Oh, what do I do?
Right off the bridge.
Immediately speed up and crash into the next oncoming traffic.
That fucking tech was in sales mode. He's like, yeah, you know, if you got the warranty.
That almost killed you. You ought to buy a new car. That almost killed you.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't trust this equipment. You gotta, you know, my buddy's over in sales. Why don't you go talk to him real quick?
That's just an extra $250, and we'll have it blessed. We'll put an exorcism on your car.
Well, so what
Get all those demons out of there.
Would that be
Austin
funny? You should
said-
offer the first priest blessing cars like at your dealership. That would be pretty tight.
Dude, that would probably do better than I would like to acknowledge.
Yeah.
I actually do have 2 bottles of holy water. Holy water. Holy water.
You smell toast.
Dude. Oh, I get it from my mom. She does shit like that. And actually, funny enough, my mom had some very heavily religious stints throughout my life.
The holy roller faces.
And that's what we refer to them as, is her holy roller phases.
Holy roller.
So I think that might have been a little bit of both on that one. Oh, shit. She neglected her children's education by not having them in school regularly. They made the same finding in 2009. Wow. Uneducated children acting out.
Yeah.
And yeah, all right, here we go.
Well,
now the house of cards
Now
is
this
falling.
is really coming together here.
The spirits would make them sick, or they would be up all night without sleep if she sent the kids to school. Wow. Okay, so these kids are just really good at manipulating their mom.
Or, well, I mean, let's talk about this really quick, because I think this story has now evolved from it's still a potential demon house, scary, spooky thing, but I think now it's kind of evolved to the philosophy of like, is this woman, if they took, because this is the first thing I was thinking, if the like department of whatever for child services had to get involved, that means someone reported them, right? We know that because we talked about
that happened
earlier.
Yeah.
So someone reported them. They took the kids, and then, despite all the freaky shit happening in the hospital, they still decided that those kids were safer not with that woman.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that as we close out this story, that I'm pretty sure there, and it could be a combination of both happening here, but what I'm going to go ahead and say is probably a little religious extremism from mom, that she is kind of putting, her kids are 6, 9, and 12, or 7, 9, and 12. I mean, they're all at pretty vulnerable fucking ages for her to be like, if the house is, if mom says the house is haunted, it's haunted. If mom says there's demons, there's demons. They're at that age where they're just going to believe anything she sees or says, and what she believes, they're going to believe. Yeah. So, I mean, it could really be a case of the mom just being way too extreme with this shit, and maybe taking what one of the kids says as like actual word, and then running with it and having it be this negative feedback loop. And I think that's what we might be looking at here.
7-year-old me could get out of school by just lying about
and saying there's demons. Oh,
if
dude,
I just had to headbutt the nearest adult.
Yeah,
school. for
what
the
I'm
next
saying
week.
is, and we pointed that out while we were going through this story. Is like some of this is genuine, just kid behavior.
Oh, I read ahead a little bit. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Clinical psychologist Stacy Wright, who evaluated Eamon's youngest son, said the boy tended to act possessed when he was challenged, redirected, or asked questions he didn't want to answer.
Yeah.
In her evaluation, Wright wrote that he seemed coherent and logical except when he talked about demons. It was then that the 8-year-old's stories became bizarre, fragmented, and illogical, Wright said. His stories changed each time he told them. He also changed the subject, quizzing Wright on math problems and asking her about outer space. Can you die if you go to space? He asked. How do you get to space? Do you have to wear a helmet and a suit? Wright believed the 8-year-old did not suffer from a true psychotic disorder. This appears to be an unfortunate and sad case of a child who has been introduced to a delusional system perpetuated by his mother and potentially reinforced by other relatives, she wrote in her psychologic evaluation. Clinical psychologist Joel Schwartz, who evaluated Eamon's daughter and older son, came to a similar conclusion. There also appears to be a need to assess the extent to which Eamon's daughter may have been unduly influenced by her mother's concerns that the family was exposed to paranormal activities, Schwartz wrote. Yeah, so I mean...
Mom's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Mom's a little cray-cray.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is just like the kids are just saying, I saw
Well, you know how
fat shadowy figures and doors would slam and move stuff around.
I think that I could kind of close this out for us because I kind of know the history of what ends up happening to this house. Okay, so take this story. This is back in 2012. This is really not that old. We're talking 13 years now. So what ended up happening is these kids were taken to by Child Protective Services. I'm pretty sure they did not go back to mom for quite some time. The house was purchased by a few different people until finally it was purchased by Zach Baggins, who then it was obviously he's the host of that Ghost Hunter show. They did a whole special in there before he famously knocked it down, claiming that it was in fact a portal to hell. So this house no longer exists. These people that lived in there at this time that made this house famous are long gone. They do not live there anymore. I'm very open for the idea that there's more to this world and this realm than what we can see. I don't have evidence I've never really had paranormal experience, but I love to talk about it. I love to hear about it. There's a lot of grifting in this, but there's a lot of grifting in everything. People are people and they like to ruin every little fun story.
This is a banana republic.
This is a kangaroo court, God damn it. So my thoughts on this is likely a little, it's a kind of, we get a peek into both sides. You know, we get a peek into like the living, what's it like to kind of live in a poor city in Gary, Indiana in the mid 2000s, with you not a lot to do. And, when you're kind of all trapped in there together in a group psychosis. And it also kind of could highlight a genuinely dark, fucking disturbing house where multiple people have said they've seen things. It's not just these people. So I can't really say that they're crazy, but I also can say that the mom, I think, really fucking gave into it too much and did not help the issue. Yeah. As for why the state took the kids away.
That's like what Isaac Brock did.
Yeah. Well, you mean
Vermont's Mouse?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He grew up in like Helena, Montana, and he used to like pretend to speak in tongues and shit like that.
Yeah. He was kind
Church and
of
shit
a
like
creative and eccentric kid. You know,
he was also
like
bored. He thought it was
he was
funny.
bored, and that's the thing is like there's probably not a lot going on in Gary, Indiana.
Right.
You kind of have to make your own entertainment. So I'm not trying to discount these people's experience, but there's clearly a reason that the kids got taken away, and I'm going to kind of leave it there. We would love to finish the whole article, but it's like 20 pages. So
Jesus Murphy, this is long. And
no, we're good. I think we covered all the good part. I mean, that was seriously a great story, though. I really enjoyed that.
absolutely.
So I'm happy that we covered the part that we did. Do you guys have any thoughts you want to add to this or any of the 3 stories we covered tonight? I had a great time.
Yeah,
I thought
that
this
was
was a
fun.
great episode.
That was a good.
This was a good time.
It's gonna be a bitch to
brother.
edit,
All right,
but-
guys. It'll be fine. It won't be. It's nothing but a thing. Drive fast, take chances. As always, thank you to our Patreon listeners. Be sure to subscribe, like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Send us an email, 2cats1dogpodcast@gmail.com. Just leave your thoughts. Let us know what you think. We want to hear you, and we would love to get some more interaction going. We've been getting about 1,000 plays a month on Spotify, and that's awesome. So thank you so much for that. And we would just want to keep getting out to as many ears as possible. So tell your friends, leave a 5-star because that helps a lot. And we'll see you guys next time.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Goodbye.
so we're just assuming kid ghosts,
Yeah.
not just because you said 25 ghost-sized kids, and what determines the size of a
taking
ghost?
that part of it too far.
Well, because if a kid is ghost size, what size is a ghost?
That's a good question. I think
Because it's like that thing, like
6'2".
It's about
There's no way. There's no way
About
that's right.
350.
There's no way that's right. And I'll tell you why. There's no way that's right, and I'll tell you why. Because
do.
the average number of arms that humans have is less than 2, because people that don't have
2
arms
arms.
exist.
That's true.
So there are fewer people in the world who have ever lived that are over 6 foot than under. So a ghost, the average size of every human that's ever lived as a ghost is definitely.
But maybe being a
5
ghost,
something.
you know how being on camera adds 10
5'5".
pounds? Maybe, being a ghost adds like 4 feet,
Yeah.
6 inches.
That's
I don't
true.
know,
That
dude.
extra dimension adds.
I don't. it
Wait, you
just-
telling me I can add 6 inches?
Yeah, I can add
see you
6
guys
inches to you
later.
right now. I don't know where I'll get the other 4, but
I'll give you 6 inches in 2 installments.
what are we talking about?
It's just 3 easy payments of $99.99.
Eventually, the footsteps went back up the stairs and the clatter intensified. We had 2 guys brought it up 2 flights of stairs.
So fucking stupid. People have never moved anything in their life. Never had to do physical labor. Like,
It had to be at least a couple tons. Fucking what?
stupid.
What are you talking about?
Was it made out of actual fucking dumbbells? That's the thing that pissed me off about that fucking story too. Is it's like this motherfucker. Like, if you're this terrified, get
Why
between
stay?
get between the mattress and the box springs, and nothing's gonna crawl between that. Nothing's gonna fucking find you.
Right.
Well, if it's a ghost, it can
Especially
find
if
you no
it's
matter
a
where
few
you go.
tons. Like, yeah, but have you ever been between a mattress and box springs?
No.
I have.
You feel so safe.
Why? Why are you going in between the two?
Why not?
You're
To
not.
hide-
You're supposed to go on top of the one.
To hide from
One,
ghosts.
to hide, and 2, also just because sometimes you're like, wonder what would happen if
That's
I
not.
laid
That's like
here.
why people like buy weighted blankets. You know what I mean?
It is
Like,
actually
Oh,
very
like, so
similar.
when you're
Like,
talking
you
of
just-
weighted mattress is like a step further. You really
Yeah.
calm the anxiety.
Exactly. Where
It
it's like
does
I just need to be
feel-
crushed
yeah.
slightly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
Next
like
thing they'll be,
actually,
they'll
yeah.
be selling people automatic chokers, like self chokers. Like, yeah, it makes me feel better when
Makes
I can't
me
really
feel
breathe very
comfortable.
much.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, no, I have 2 things of holy water, like that I just
You
keep
should use
in the
it. Start blessing
Explorer.
people's car. Get some sales in, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we put in 1 bottle in your gas tank. You get an extra like
Can you imagine
5
somebody
miles per
pouring water in your
gallon.
You
gas
get
tank?
1 extra warranty
People
claim.
breaking down all across town. The mark of the devil.
Yeah, man, you got to get an exorcism stat. I know it.
Yeah,
man.
the people have to bring
And
it
you're
back
gonna need
in.
a new car.
This is why we offer it, because we sell in mostly possessed
Someone
cars.
kept putting salt water in their gas tanks.
craziest
Got like
thing.
30 cars here. That's total.
Yeah, you see, if you don't get it blessed, your windshield wiper fluid's going to be replaced by blood at some point.
By blood.
We
at
don't
some
know when, we
point.
don't know
That
where.
would be so fucking metal, dude. Blood windshield, blood cleaning fluid.
Holy fuck!
All right, well, skip to the conclusion of the article. Skip to the conclusion. We got to wrap this up.
I just scrolled.
It's hard to say. I will tonight. What we should do after this, we should watch some stuff on this because I think it's a vibe. It totally is. The house is creepy as shit. It is
Yeah.
shaped like an upside down cross. Like it's literally is shaped. I don't know why. Who thought that was like a decent design? Because
Right.
if you
Well,
look at
it
it from
depends.
aerial,
If you look at it from
the
one
right side is
it
not
looks
upside
like a
down.
regular
right?
cross.
It's like I don't know.
Which is kind of funny to me, like the idea of like an upside down cross being like an anti-Christian symbol.
It's like he probably hated crosses. He died on that thing.
Well, I mean that, and I think it was Saint Paul. He was crucified upside down. That's where the symbol comes from, because like he didn't believe like he was good enough to be crucified the same way as Jesus.
Yeah,
so
he's like, do it the other
he's
way.
like, nah, dude,
Put me sideways.
Put me upside down.
Put me in upside down,
Yeah,
coach.
that shit isn't hard enough.
Want it on hard mode, horde
Put it in
mode,
horde mode.
horde.
But yeah.
But
Anyway.
I think that this is a good story of a potential haunting mixed with when someone takes it a little, when mom and dad maybe take it a little bit too seriously, and why because I can't tell you how much I love watching ghost shows, ghost documentaries, like especially the ones where it's like, yeah, my house is haunted, and then a documentary crew comes in, and then it's always the dad who's like, come on, guys, I pay the fucking bills. I'm at work like 60 hours a week. You guys are all freaking out about ghosts and shit while I'm away. And oftentimes it's usually comes down to like the dad. It is important for someone in the house to kind of be, even if there is shit going on, it's important for somebody to kind of just be like, like steadfast and just be skeptical and just be courageous and be brave. When you don't have that in the house and everybody's just on the fucking crazy side, like, we are all full in for demons, and then the fucking cops come in and the CPS comes in and they're all like, I don't know, maybe it's demons.
Like, it might be demon.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy.